हम्म। हाँ ठीक है। हाँ जायचं।
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome
Good
to
afternoon.
Engage Monthly CME number 2.
Waiting for a week.
So, I had given the case earlier to you all. Have you all read it? I hope at least. And some people have tried. That's right. Anybody? Did you all, anybody enjoyed the last time our case? And we used it at all in this 1 month? We used that remedy at all? Somebody is asking to send the case. I can't send you the Suraj case now because I'm already here. Rita, can you send Suraj the case? Or see if you can post it in this chat box. So we are going to do this case today. We are all excited, I hope. So you all know about 3 kingdoms. So first of all, we have to, whenever you get a case, you have to decide which kingdom this case belongs to, right? And we all know in brief everything about mineral, about structure, vegetable, plant is about sensitivity, animal is about asserting themselves and survival and one-upmanship. That's in brief. So this is the case, right? Anybody wants to share what about the case? Something, anything? Dr. Mahi, we are very happy you're here. We read the case. Rama, are you here? Askar bhai, you're here. Have you...
Madam, Dr. Rama Hariharan is not in this group right now. Bhaskar Bhai is not in this group as of now. He has not yet joined.
Okay. Inkita, have you read the case? Vaishali, have you read the case? You want to give something about it?
Somebody is still going through. And there is one doctor who has said she has worked out. I don't remember the name. She has worked on this our case and she came to one medication. She has put in the group. So I'll just check it out. Yeah. Where is she?
Inkita is not ready. Okay. So let's start with the case a bit. I was hoping that we posted it earlier so that you would read it. Okay. So here the case is a little strange. So first let's just read a few lines. So she was a 16-year-old girl, okay, studying in the 11th standard. So she came to us on 19th November 2021. And her mother contacted us saying that I want help for my daughter's suicidal depression. Now it's 16, you know, these days, today in 23, 22, we hear a lot of suicide Even then, it was mostly college. And that itself is very shocking. But a 16-year-old was like, very, for us also a little bit scary, right? So don't you think so? 16 to think of depression, think of suicide, so very rare. So when patient didn't talk to us at all, and she said she doesn't want to give this long history and answer the questions. She hardly came on Zoom. She ran off. She says, I hate communication. According to the mother, she's very confused, get distracted in minutes, cannot focus, has a lot of anxiety, very reserved. Yeah. Any patient has delusion that she neglected, makes her very angry when she feels that whenever she talks, she's not heard, or too many people are talking at one time, and she gets really angry. And she shouts and she bangs the door and shuts. She weeps in the anger and says, let me die. So this suicidal thoughts really had us worried. We, because anytime this is suicide is such a thing that you do it very impulsively in a, very short time, in a minute or so. So you don't even plan. So we were a little worried about taking this case also, right? So we're very keen to get the right remedy, okay, and give it quickly. Whenever there is any suicidal case, whether small child or a little bit, adult, then also we tell them, call us every morning, evening, please call us just to say hello. Now this patient, you couldn't even say that, but we told the mother that same thing. Patient said, I like to isolate myself most of the time. I don't like noise, that we know already. I don't like party because it's very noisy. She's very non-social, likes to be alone by herself. And she had a lot of fear of communication, feels people do not like what she talks and better to keep quiet. So what is the impression we get on all this, please? Somebody? Yeah, somebody wants to share? Dr. Vibha? Anyone? Nikita, you finished reading the case?
Ma'am, she is very lonely and introvert. She wants to just sit and close down everybody, all the communication. And in weeping, she thinks that she has to do suicide.
So what do you think her feeling is inside her? Anybody, what is this kind of feeling inside her?
Neglected, she is.
She feels neglected. Yeah, Vaishali. Very good. So why is she feeling that? That's what we have to find out.
So, ma'am, may I share?
Yes, please. Who are you? I can't
I
see.
feel I'm Vaishali.
Vaishali, tell me.
I feel that as she's saying that I whatever I speak, nobody likes. So I feel that there's a lot of this inferiority complex about self, that she's not in capacity to talk to others or communicate properly, and there is this lot of anger towards self. Maybe that is shown outside also, and at the same time inside in the form of suicidal tendency, that she's not fit for living and things like that.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So this is correct that she is feeling that. But this neglect, you remember our first case we did there also, she felt neglected, right? You remember our first CME case, somebody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that case also she was neglected. The mother felt, did I neglect so much? No, and here the mother has called you. Mother even knows she's suicidal. So we have to figure out what it is, right? What way she feels. Let's go ahead. So far, this seems to me very peculiar. The whole case seems very peculiar. So, what is the rubrics you would take? See, I know some people have replied on the chat that they would give puja. Somebody has said Ignitia and then natural mute. So, what is the, can we just decide, read the case and then decide the remedy? Is this how we are supposed to go about it? We have to have some basis on which to say it, right? So we have to quote either our knowledge of materia medica or we have to quote the repertory rubrics, right? Right? So that lack of love and neglect, what is the kind of rubric you would go to? She's saying whatever youngsters at 16 want to do, she doesn't want. She doesn't want to talk. She doesn't want to go to party. She doesn't even want noise. She wants to be by herself. So this is not social behavior, right? Like normal human behavior. She feels that people don't like her and therefore she keeps quiet. So it was very funny. And I have a system where what I call the living repertory. We've all heard of living materia medica, right? That means making materia medica alive for you, yeah? So what is living repertory? Normally what we do, we took the case and then we work out the repertory, but we don't do it in front of the patient. So I took this as working out already while patient was talking. So I took already a few rubrics. So what are the rubrics you would like to take right now?
Depression.
Yes. What else?
Suppressed.
What else?
Dr. Bhaskar Bhatt is also there. Dr. Bhatt, throw some light if you can.
Say that again, please.
Dr. Bhaskar Bhai આવી ગયા છે.
Bhaskar Bhai, you want to say anything?
He is there in our group.
Okay, you carry on, Vibha.
All right.
What other rubrics? Vaishali, you want to tell us which other rubrics?
Anyone else, please start.
Delusion, she is neglected.
Yes, that is so one rubric is delusion, she is neglected. Then
Low self-confidence, low self-esteem.
yes, very good. Then most of the things which are already in this page, this slide, we can take, right? She wants to be by herself. So you can say
So being alone.
Yes. She wants to keep quiet, yeah? Then she doesn't like loud noises. So you have to say either take fear of noises or whatever. Because all these rubrics, whether anxiety from noise, fear from noise, or anything from noise, would all be carrying similar remedies, okay? So even if you take fear, you may say that she's not saying I'm fearful of noise. But when noise, or you can take sensitive to noise. So all these rubrics you can do. Then party she doesn't like. So that means what? Doesn't like crowd. So, and then she expresses her anger. Yeah, reserve. No, Nonita says reserve. Okay, good.
Desire solitude.
Desire solitude. That is good. So that is, we've taken no alone. Okay. So if you see, these are the rubrics I took. Very peculiar one. Once I thought first was suicidal. She said neglected. So I took delusion, love she is not, and neglected aliens from being. Okay. Because you are neglected, nobody likes me. That's why she is not loved. You don't agree with anything, you please talk to me now. Okay. This CME is meant for learning. Otherwise, I can just take the case, give you the case, give the rubric, say this is the remedy. That's not what I'm doing. Right? I'm trying to carry on all with me so that you are understanding what is happening. Okay. And then the most peculiar I found is suicidal disposition. When asked what suicide, she said poison. Then somebody said, Vaishali said confidence, want of self we took. Then we took contradiction, intolerant of, means what she said that somebody not listening to me. So she has to be heard or she will not talk. Right? And we took anger, violence, and we took noise, aggressiveness. Okay? What do you think will come out of this much working? These 4, 6, 8, 9 rubrics. What do you think? Some idea, what do you think will come out? Anyone? Anyone, just say, it doesn't matter. We are all here to make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Just tell us, what do you think? This remedy, what remedy? Okay, because there's depression. What is the Orum's most characteristic thing that we would look at?
Suicidal disposition.
Yes, and then also I told you right in the
Quality.
beginning, you have to look at what kind of a family we are talking about, you know, there's a mineral, the animal, the plant, that will help us in kind of differentiate.
Plant because of excessive sensitivity.
Yes. So then Aurum, we'll have to keep it aside. Aurum, most important thing is duty, right? And wanting to work and wanting to do that. Here, we are not, so far, it's a very small part of the case that we have taken. But of course, you all have all read the case. But I'm just saying, these are only some things which struck me immediately that I took. Okay?
Ma'am, I have some remedies in mind.
Yes,
Like-
tell me.
Sarracenia, Nux vomica, along with this, whatever was shared. Sarracenia, Nux vomica, carcinosin. These
Okay,
are also a few things which are covering most of the rubric.
what all are the rubrics covered?
I thought.
Take
Nux
the
vomica, carcinosin, and Sarracenia. Of Sarracenial family, the Sarracenian remedy.
write it in the chat, nobody is able to understand.
Okay.
Somebody saying snake, somebody saying natramute, somebody saying aurum. Okay, so give me some reasons, no? For aurum, what is the reason? Suicidal is one thing, yes, very important. What else is about aurum? Whoever said aurum, please reply. Okay, tell me something about natrum.
Reserved disposition.
Yeah,
Madam,
Reserved disposition.
reserved. Okay, that is one thing. Likes to be alone, doesn't want to share. Okay, that is true. What
Madam.
Chaya, tell us about snake. Why snake?
Madam, I'll tell about Aurum. Why I
Yeah,
don't
please.
think it's Aurum.
Yeah, please tell.
Because Aurum, everything centers around responsibility. Aurum feels that he is responsible for everything. So even
Correct.
the depression and the suicidal tendency also comes when he thinks that he has neglected something and he is responsible for everything that is wrong. Whereas in this case, we don't find that kind of a connection.
Yes. In this case, we are not seeing that evidence yet. No?
Yes. Yes.
So we'll have to think about it. Yeah. Okay. Carcinosin, please tell. Carcinosin. What is
Carcinosin.
the most important thing about carcinosin?
Artistic.
Yes, very good. What else?
Ailments from domination is the
Yes,
one of the core factor, and
Correct.
then the desire to please everyone is
correct. So here we have the two things. Probably domination may
And,
be there, though we don't have evidence, but
Yes.
may be there because she feels neglected and all that. It could be
Yes.
there. And of course, artistic is there. Then
and nature loving. I
Nature.
mean, I'm talking about carcinosin, which are the main features of
Yeah, yeah.
carcinosin.
I understand.
Yeah.
But so far in this, we don't have. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So far, we don't know. It may be there. Khushbu, why Liliaceae family?
Ma'am, the sensitivity, one of the extra sensitive nature that has been displayed about her.
What else?
We have, so
What
that thought me off.
sensitivity is there in every plant, right? Now, what is
But this is
special
like,
about
but
liliaceae?
this is like one of the most sensitive families in plant old families, and
So, what is the other most characteristic thing about liliaceae?
that's what I thought as of now. What it struck me was this.
Okay, so liliaceae, the most characteristic is about its ego, its pride, how it looks, how it is beautiful. A lot of lily looks so lovely, right? Everybody likes the lily, white,
Yeah.
pure. So a lot of that is there. And so far in this, we are not seeing anything. Okay, sensitivity is very common. Okay,
Okay.
Ankita says staphysagria. So staphysagria, Ankita, can you tell me how you will differentiate here?
Because she has lot of reserved displeasure inside her.
Very
She's
good.
not able to express what she feels, and all the time, all the anger is suppressed. So
Okay.
inside her, there are lot of emotions. She feels maybe she is feeling kind of insulted when she talks to people. People are not taking what she wants. So due to the main suppression and reserved displeasure, maybe it can
Only
be.
thing I agree with so many things what you said, but here the reservedness I don't agree. She is banging doors. She's showing her anger, so she's walking away from the room. Even us, she didn't talk to. She locks herself up, and she doesn't want party. She says, "Please, please, please get out." Okay, so staphysagria is a little more suppressed, little more. It keeps its anger to itself and it trembles with anger. Okay, so I'm very glad with all this discussion we had. We'll move ahead. Yes,
Ma'am, I'll share something.
please. Who are you?
Vaishali Joshi.
Vaishali. So tell me now. Of course, Vaishali.
Madam, even in staphysagria, the honor is very important, the self-image. So it will never behave uncivilized in front of public. It will
Correct.
keep the anger inside, which is not
Correct.
the case in the patient.
Correct. Very good. That's very, very true. So here, so far, we are not seeing that. She is banging her door. I mean, at 16, we understand they are teenagers and all, but she doesn't seem, no, I like to isolate myself. I don't like noise. I don't like party. I want to be alone. So staphysagria wants to be with people, but it gets hurt and insulted. So it keeps inside, as Vaishali is saying, right? Okay. Anyone else? Can I move ahead? Be prepared for a shock, okay? Because I myself was shocked with this repertory working. So,
Madam, even Sacrum album is coming up. Sacrum album.
so tell me the reasons.
The unsocial behavior due to that neglect, because Sacrum album also wants a lot of love and affection.
Yeah.
But it feels, even though it gets in Sacrum album, the core is that even though Sacrum is loved, he wants it all for himself, and he, for the slightest things, he feel neglected, and he does this unsocial behavior. In unsocial behavior rubric, only Sacrum album is the single remedy where they opt to behave unsocial.
Yeah. So we'll have to decide what is unsocial behavior. See, what does she do? She goes away out of the room. Okay. What is unsocial behavior? When you whatever is social behavior, you sit with everybody, talk nicely to everybody. When you talk rudely to everybody or contradict everybody, or suddenly you do, say, I want to sing or dance, suddenly when somebody is talking or somebody else is singing and you laugh, all this is called unsocial behavior. Okay, so we are saying she's non-social, means she doesn't want to be with people, but she's not unsocial as such. Okay?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So I'm going to now go to the repertory working. Okay. So this is what we have done so far. And the remedy which came up, just look at it. I took delusion, she's not loved. I took neglected. Can you all see the chart, please? Suicidal, poison by, confidence want of, artistic, contradiction, doesn't like. She said, if I talk and people don't like me, she does. And violent anger, banging doors, and noise aggravate. So you would think that, yes, some of this, you would think of belladonna, maybe violent and all that. Pulsatilla, you wouldn't really, because they first try to please and weep more than, anything else. And the third remedy, which is covering almost every brick, is called a remedy which I have not heard. What is it? What is the remedy? Anybody?
Mandragora. Mandragora.
Mandragora. So this remedy, mandragora. And then you have stramonium. So, and you have ignitia, which somebody said, but ignitia doesn't cover so many things. But of course, ignitia, again, we won't rule it out, but we will say it weeps more. Okay? It weeps more, and there is much of a shock. So ignitia belongs to the Luganaceae family, which is more of Nux vomica and ignitia art. The first positive factor is shock. Then you have Staphysagria, which we've already discussed. And we said that it has reserved displeasure. Okay? And stramonium and belladonna, which are almost the highest, they are from the same family, Solanaceae. And now mandragora is also from the same family.
Yes.
Can you believe this? So if you see rubrics wise, and we believe that, the understanding a remedy from a family point of view, then even things which are there, symptoms, feelings, all are shared. Okay. So like, for example, some 10, 20 years ago, I would always give Staphysagria if the person, was like very reserved and kept it inside and was very angry, which he kept inside, and Pulsatilla would weep. But then I understood that even in the same family, Pulsatilla and Staphysagria are the same family, which is the Ranunculaceae family. So Pulsatilla also can have reserved anger because they are the same family. So we started borrowing. So sometimes I wanted to give Pulsatilla, I then gave, say, no, this is a cancer miasm, I'll give Staphysagria. Okay, so this is how we can use different remedies. So here, if we look at it, belladonna, mandragora, stramonium. Already mandragora covers 8, and one rubric which it doesn't cover, stramonium covers. So if you look at it, it's covering everything. But what is mandragora? Okay, so let us go ahead. So then I looked at the family Solanaceae. Okay, so Solanaceae, there are, everybody knows, right? That miasms are there in everything. We have miasm. You all know about miasm? So we have acute, typhoid, malaria, ringworm, psychosis, tuberculosis, cancer, leprosy. Okay, so now you have belladonna, which we got here, which is an acute. And we got stramonium, which is also an acute. So here you can say, yeah, it may be acute, she's suicidal. But she's just suicidal, not really tomorrow she'll commit suicide. And other things we are not saying, okay? So, and mandragora belongs to the leprous miasm. So what is leprous? Now let's go ahead, okay? So we've understood something, but we need to have much, much more. So I have had 2-3 cases. The first time I heard, 10 years ago, I heard Rajan's first case of mandragora. I said, what is mandragora? And he gave a beautiful case, which was about a man whose father was very, very dominating. He used to beat him up. This fellow would always, as a child, scared of his father. Whenever he came home, he would try to hide or not be there. And father even once broke down. He closed himself, locked himself in the bedroom. The father broke down the door and he beat him up, black and blue. So he was always in this state of fear. And whatever of the other symptoms, Rajan doctor had given him mandragora. And the beautiful thing was the father meantime had died, of course. But he still had this tremendous resentment to the father and tremendous fear and tremendous feelings of I'm worthless and all these things. So after he got mandragora, he said, now I forgive my father. He went to the father's samadhi and he said sorry to him. And he also grew a mandragora plant in his garden. Anyway, so that is the story. So that had stayed with me and I had done little bit reading, which also I'll share with you. So it belongs to the plant kingdom, which the patient is in. It belongs to the leprous miasm. So unloved, neglected, thrown off, insulted, humiliated. I am nobody. That's why people don't like me. Already some of it was there in our patient. And also solemnity. So many fears, noise, this, that, sensitivity. But we don't have enough. So we have to carry on with the case and not stick to the remedy which may come up right in the beginning. Okay, so she had anxiety, lot of anxiety in the stomach, exams, stage, crowds, gathering. Then she said, delusion people don't like me, they don't like to be around me, and I don't like myself also. So terrible, as Vaishali doctor said, low self-esteem. She feels she's very small, she's very ugly, and but she was very artistic. She loves music, does Bharatnatyam, plays guitar, was in the football team. So she's a very capable girl. How come she's come to this state? Today I can't focus on what I'm doing and I have no confidence. And she said, what is if I'm not like this, as not able to contribute? What's the point of living? Why can't I just, at 16, she said, why can't I just die? Every second sentence she said, why can't I just die? She loved Japanese food, sushi, and so on. So we were really interested in how did this all start? So the mother said, mother only has given us the history, okay? He's not talked to us, I've told you that. So initially till the 6th grade, she and her family were living in New Bombay, is a suburb of Mumbai, little far away. So here patient in school didn't have much friends, but in the building lots of friends. So she was happy interacting. But then what happened is mother was doing a job and it was very taxing job. And then finally they thought that they should be closer to the mother's job area. So they shifted to Powai. And then in Powai, there is a good school, which is an international school. So they took admission in the school. Now, obviously, the school in New Bombay and in here were very different in culture and so many things. So she couldn't adjust. And their patient had no friend because nothing in the building, nothing in the school. And she feels very lonely. As in school, she left out, not put, left out and bullied. So being an international school, she could not match up to cultural difference. You understand what is cultural difference? Somebody please? But you would like to give an input? Dr. Das, would you like to give an input? What is cultural difference? This is a general question, nothing to do with this case. Anybody? So, anything in the chat? Vipa doctor, anything in the chat?
Shall I share?
Yeah, please. I'm asking everybody, not by name. I don't want them to share. I'm just saying whatever names I know and can. Yeah.
In cultural differences, I'll just put an example that suppose if we are Indians, so we have certain norms which we follow, and if we compare that with the Western culture, then they have certain norms which they follow which are different from us, where we have some conservative behaviors in our social pattern, whereas for them it is allowed. So they have it openly. So that is the difference which we can face,
Yeah.
which we can find. Now,
Very
if
good.
we
In child, what would they be? In the school, what would you have any experience?
in school now, school also many a times, like I'll give you one example which I have in my mind about this. There's one school in of Cathedral School in South
Mumbai.
Mumbai,
Hmm.
and this patient of mine, she was staying in suburbs first, and then the father shifted there, and she was put in that Cathedral School. So when she went there, her peers used to ask her that which car are you coming in. So she
Correct.
asked her father that I am not coming in any car. She was coming in the company bus. The father was where he was working. They had a company bus, and that used to leave. So they all used to make fun of her. So she asked the father that everybody is coming in car. I also want to come in car, like something like that. Then they will like, which kind of bag are you carrying? From where are you staying? Which building? How many floors are there in your building? And then all that starts imposing on her. I mean, this was
Very
something
good.
very different.
Very good. Very good. Please clap for her. Very good examples. Everybody, please clap. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. So cultural difference in these, that's why I always tell people, don't put children in your school as suit your caliber. Don't put in good, when they came out with that thing reservation policy, that all schools have to reserve so much for the poor. I was thinking, oh God, what will they do with these other girls? They will not mix. Those people will not mix, and they will now feel that they don't have anything, right? If you're all the time comparing. So here in this international school, what will happen? What has
Why?
happened? Yes, they will talk about where you went, which country you went for a holiday, which car you came in, where do you stay. And so she had nothing though. She stayed in Powai, this good area. And but she was walking to the school, it was just opposite. And so all this, they made her feel very low. So no one talked to her. And she felt no motivation. And actually, she was a child who was good in studies. So they still came to her for when they wanted help and still treated her so badly. So she felt like suicidal and failure at that age. When people put you down, you feel really intensely, yes? And she'd say, poison me, my mother, let me die. Okay? And then she won't wear any colored dresses. She doesn't want to be stand out. She wants to hide. Yeah, she doesn't want to. So she'll wear gray and black. And, even magnesium, because I had thought of magnesium in this case. So even magnesium, you know how it is, it is an orphan and all that. But in the orphanage, the magnesium child does not want to be seen. It hides behind the other. It says, if I'm unobtrusive, means I'm not seen, I'm not observed, then nobody can scold me and nobody will beat me. Okay? People who are naughty and all get beaten every day. They say that food is not good, they get beaten. Not that they get good food. So magnesium always hides. So here also, in that same way, she wanted to hide. Okay? So the pregnancy was, after 5 years of marriage, patient was born. Pregnancy was okay, little vomit, little nothing much. Okay? Husband smoker. Mother is an HR consultant for builders. She recruits people for lower staff. She's quite happy with her job. I explained to you they shifted clothes because she had long hours. And also she wanted to study and she was studying law. So she didn't want to waste her time in traveling. So they bought a house over there. And now the mother, from the 6th, 7th standard, they moved. No? Now she's in the 11th. Finished law, which was her interest, and later she will shift her work. That. So this child becoming for last few years so depressed, they did a psychiatric test which said depression, suicidal tendency. prone to harming herself, likes to be alone, does not like strangers, crowd. She does not even like relatives. When they come, she feels anxious. When will they leave? When will they leave? Okay. And they advised, the allopaths advised her to allopathy, but mother didn't want to give, so she was finally also. But now the child slowly started losing interest in everything, what she was good at. Studies, yes, but otherwise aerobics, dance, she's not able to do. She can't even do anything except her studies and astronomy. She says, what is the point? I don't want to live. Let me die. At every conversation, she'll say. She won't even go downstairs with mother for a walk because there are so many people there. Even if she's around her own mother and father for a very long time, she's uncomfortable. And she sits in her room and locks. She says, I can't answer so many questions and home. She said, I can't make people understand. I can't hold a conversation so long, even with my mother. And the only person I love is my dog, which they bought in the 6th standard. She loves the dogs. So we have also one more addition now to her thing is loving dogs. And she likes her maid because the maid is there for 7 years. And she's very kind and gentle and doesn't tell her, do this, do that, do this, do that. Oh, you're not doing this. If you don't do this, what to do? You must get along with people. At least talk to the other girls. Nothing she said. So she gets along well with her. But all the time she stays in her room. Only sometimes the dog goes in and otherwise nobody comes in. And sometimes she comes out, plays with the dog, talks to the maid, goes. Dinner she has with her mother and the father for the place, but he's not there most of the time. Father was working in the old place only because he had a business and he comes mostly in the weekends. So in the night, this case came to me just COVID time. That time he was staying with them, but he used to eat late, not late. So that was the father. And she rarely chats with her father, not much. With the mother, a little bit more, but really she doesn't talk anything. So now this latest incident which has happened, which brought about this whole thing, was that after lockdown, school just started. Okay. So alternate day that was. So only 12 students came. Then yesterday was a holiday. And all 11 of them went out together. And they did not even call me. Imagine what a 16-year-old feel. Nobody wants me. No one likes me, she said. They talk to me only for work when they need some help because she is good in physics, economics, astronomy. She's a clever girl. She knows much about planets and Earth and favorite subjects. So we have loner, we have anger, we have love, likes to have traveled. She had no friends. Children would just say, go away. These children are quite cruel, especially in this, as you saw, she explained to you about cathedral. In my time, cathedral was the most expensive school going. So when one of my classmates in my Bandra school left and joined cathedral, he said, how will you get along? But anyway, we used to meet later. She didn't become so egoistic. She used to go by train. So some people can stand their own. Yeah. And of course, in those times, it was not so bad, though it was quite bad. They would talk about money and how much your father earns, or, things like that. And of course, they came by car, but they didn't talk about all the time foreign home. But it's become now very bad. I've had lots of children who I've treated where they had these problems with their school, the schoolmates. So she kept to herself, the anger built up, which is why somebody says capital. 10th midterm exam was a worst performance. To a girl who is already, quite clever, that was like the last straw, right? So she now says, I can't focus, I study, but I forget for the exam. Parents, she said, don't have any time. They think they give me material things, it is fine. No one likes me, I'm neglected. This is all her saying. Mother, we didn't question, because the important thing for us is what the child feels. We saw that in the first case, that she was completely, she till said, mother, till 35, this girl is only 16. He said, mother, neglected. Anxiety stage, crowds, stomach, she says, feels different. Anger, if somebody shouts or contradicts or blames me unjustly, and she bangs the door. Luckily, it doesn't break like here. So all this I've already told you about no friends. IB school culture can't adjust. Mother said no friends in school or home. Pregnancy was normal. She fed up for 2 years. She said, I can't see what is the stress. I come back home. In fact, I spend time with her, but she never comes out. Okay. And no second child. She likes child likes warm weather. And she feels hot. She puts AC on 24. So chill. Okay. Then she likes pleasant weather. She doesn't like winter and snow. She likes warmer weather, perspiration, little bit, and acne and hair. That's even worse. Now, at teenage, you have all these problems, plus you have acne, and plus you have hair fall, then depression is manifold. So, more rubrics. What have we got apart from the 7 which we got earlier? What have we got now? Anyone? Come on, we have a lot way to go. Somebody? Yeah, all this that we've been saying, you can say, na? More things. What was more striking? Cura. Cura is another remedy which is, hates himself. But Cura is a very syphilitic remedy, yes? With more syphilitic, this was very leprous. Cura is also leprous and syphilitic. But here, she herself knows that she's clever and she's got into this problem. Okay, so we'll differentiate. Yeah. So here we have to take chili. We have to take, she wears clothes which are black and gray. We have to take height she desires to, right? Few more rubrics have come up or no? Yeah?
Yes.
So we will take those. So hide oneself desire to, colors, black, love animals for which you not taken earlier, dogs for, then friendless she is, ugly she is, then she likes sweets and she likes spice. So we took all these things which were remaining and we kept adding. So now you have still Mandragora rules. Except if you say in hide desire to. So we have to see whether one of the Solanaceae covers it. So Stramonium covers it. So that is fine. And we have neglected that. We already saw Stramonium covers it. And we have in general, ugly is. All that only Mandragora is covering. If you take ugly is, sweet desire, spices, all that, love for dogs, all that, neither belladonna or Stramonium are. It is the same family. So what do you want to do? We have to understand Mandragora a bit, right? Before you want to give it. So this is Solanaceae. What is Solanaceae? It is the nightshade, right? So it is fright and flight. What is maximum? I told you about Loganaceae, more about shock. So here it is fright and flight. Okay? So, and then sudden danger. Also sunstroke. All the things are sudden, intense, violent. And they can, whenever you're attacked, either you can fight or you can fly. So the important things in here is that something happens suddenly with great intensity. So in Solanaceae, there's a lot of white and black and white, life and death, light and dark. So in Solanaceae, you have light, belladonna can't bear the dark. has to have a light on, so also selenium, so on. So lot of violence which we saw in her, terror which we haven't seen, but fright, panic, all these things are. Everything doesn't have to be, you have to understand, right? So passive reaction of solenacy is paralyzed. When something attacks you, you're paralyzed, can't move, sluggish, cowardice, anesthesia, unconscious. Active reaction is sharp senses, shrieking, panicking. She shouts, no, in anger. So all is active reaction. Startled out of a sleep, fright, flight, and everything is about panic, fright, horror. And compensation, that means what should be, is courage in the face of danger. So here you can look at it better. So this is in plant sensation. Solenacy, violence, splitting, bursting, explosive, spasmodic, jerking, shooting, sunstroke, violent, life and death, killed, constriction, choking, all this. Then passive we showed you, stupefied and sluggish. Active is all the shrieking, which she was doing. And she was banging doors and making noise. And she was all the time panicking. So this is the understanding of this. I have explained to you the solenacy. I explained to you the leprous. What is the leprous miasm? Leprous is completely unwanted. I showed you that chart, you remember, right? Right in the beginning, I showed you.
Yes.
So here, leprous solenacy is mandatory. Leprous feels neglected is one thing, feels completely unwanted, that she's nobody, she's small, she's ugly, no one loves me, no one wants me. I don't want anybody, I'd rather be alone. I suppose you all know the story of Ben-Hur, right? You know, leprosy when it first started, the not the tubercular leprosy, syphilitic type of leprosy. You know that story? Anybody? I suppose all of you are very young. You may not have seen the movie Ben-Hur. So I'll tell you the story. So in Ben-Hur, the story was that they got, Ben-Hur's mother and sister both got leprosy. And in those days, leprosy meant nose would fall off, ear would fall off, finger would fall off. So it was considered to be horrible and something which can, affect other people. So these people were taken and kept on an island far away, where they couldn't leave that place, and then they just died. So if somebody wanted to look after their family, or at least give food, Ben-Hur would go there, put the food under a tree, and then go away. And then she would watch that he's gone, and his sister would come and take the food. You never saw them again. It was that bad. So I'm trying to explain to you what leprosy is. Where they are rejected, they are gone. Nobody wants them in the world. Nobody wants to see them. Okay. So we have that other case. We've had 2-3 cases now like this only. So this girl said, nobody likes me. So of all the remedies, she is still clever. She's still doing. Cura is much more syphilitic. And so let's go back to understand a little bit about the mandragora. So it is, mandrake. Mandrake was that magician, right? So it is made from the root of the plant. And they call it insane root. Even Macbeth, Antony and Cleopatra, Romeo and Juliet, everyone have mentioned mandragora. But mandragora is not podophyllum because sometimes that is also called mandragora. So it is known to homeopathy through experiments of Diffresin made out himself by repeatedly smelling it at short intervals to express juice of the plant. Yeah. So there are 2 varieties of mandragora. Symptoms are similar to belladonna because they are botanically related. There's restless excitability, bodily weariness, great desire for sleep, and the unpleasant symptoms go off at night, and then she get gentle perspiration. This girl got now, we saw that, we didn't take it, but had perspiration at night. The effects were removed. The effect of the proving were removed by free indulgence in wine, coffee, and cigars. Exaggeration of sound, that's why she doesn't like, because it all gets magnified in an enlarged vision. So if they normally took normal food, then this proving symptoms lasted longer and they were removed by nuts, camphor, benadryl. The symptoms were restless, excitedly, hysterical. You can have head heaviness and fullness, pupils, a lot of exaggeration, okay? And tongue is benumb, all these are the symptoms. Lingering uneasiness, desire for sleep. Because in sleep, at least nobody is there disturbing you or telling you bad things, okay? And it's an important remedy for constipation. So here, mandragora seems to be the remedy. Anybody has any doubts?
Madam, can you repertorize through Kant repertory?
No, you cannot, because mandragora was not proved then. Kent repertory will not show it.
That's what I'm saying. That why not polycrest? I am holding a clerk materia medica in front of me. I am just seeing mandragora and page number this 394. Only one symptom is written hysterical and mental symptom. There is the drug proving does not show much of the symptoms.
That's why, because it is not true. So therefore, it is important that we know more things, okay? And that is
No.
why we have to learn. We have to learn and prove. No, you
materia medica, this materia medica which you are showing has to have some reference from either Clerk materia medica or Kant or Henning's guiding symptom.
It has to have reference from proving. And provings have been done after Clark and after Hahnemann, they have been proving them. And our whole basis of homeopathy is proving. So if proving is done, and that is why the symptoms come out from that, plus family. We are following not our own, जो मन में आया वो फैमिली हुआ, ऐसा नहीं है. आज मेरे को आप अच्छे लगे तो आप मेरे फैमिली हो गए, ऐसा नहीं है. We are following the universal proven biological system, okay? So that biologists and plant people have made all these charts and have made families which belong to each other because we have common characteristics. And they have met the family and we are following. Just as mineral kingdom, the periodic table has been made by scientists, not by homeopaths, not by you and me. And we are following the periodic table and seeing that in that same row, there are common characteristics. So you may want to give ignitia, but ignitia doesn't cover this depth, and ignitia belongs to the cancer miasm. Ignitia doesn't belong to the leprous miasm. Plus, you may not believe leprous and all that, but that's not the point. The point is that ignitia doesn't have this kind. It has shock, it has weeping, it has this, it doesn't have this kind of depth. Okay? So finally, you have to follow, you go to, no, Hanuman never ever said, after me, homeopathy cannot progress. He didn't say that. Homeopathy can never be advanced. Nobody else can add anything. This is my copyright. This is homeopathy. And no one in the next 100, 200, 500 years can add even one line to it. Hanuman didn't say that. Nobody said that. So we have to take what we have from them, which is great. Okay?
I agree with you, madam. I agree with you, but the prover or the author has to be authentic, and the paper should be read in international conference. Dr. Prakash Vakil proved Mangifera indica.
All that has been done. Okay, so then you now investigation where it has all been read. See, I am reading this paper, right, in a webinar where so many people are there. Okay, so then you go ahead. Now you want this, that. It must be in 20, this thing, it must be in international. So I will ask you to please get the whole world to agree that homeopathy is a good science. Today also everybody brings it down. Na? So you go ahead and prove that nobody should say anything against homeopathy. Then I will listen to whatever you're saying. But I am willing, today also I prescribe everything by repertory. by materia medica, by proving which are done, and then I use it sparingly. If I don't get result, I leave it. Now, supposing I gave your ignitia to this patient and patient didn't get it, what shall we do? Should we allow them to go away or give them matrimony and didn't get well? And then shall we tell the patient, I'm sorry, I can't help you? We can do that also, right? But now you must see what kind of response we got. And response you cannot question. In the sense, this is not response which just happens. This is a mother who has a child who's suicidal. She's not going to come and tell you, oh, she's very good now. Okay. No. Now, what happens to this child? She's much better in anxiety. She now comes out of the room whenever she's free. She made friends in the building, went down to play. A girl who from the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th standard has not gone down and made any friend. She went down and she stayed with that friend till 8:30. Can you imagine a change more than this? I cannot imagine. In my life also, I have not such a, there are so many things about me I don't like, but I've not been able to come out of it, right? All of us have something we don't like. Have you been able to come out of it? No. Anxiety is 60% better. Focus, no, sorry, L6 means it is at level 6, it means 40% better. Focus is better. And she's now even talking to relatives. 5 years, she's not even talked to relatives. They've not seen her. And with no fear of injection. Tuition, she's going once a week. She's mixing with the father and mother. She's saying her worrying it down by 50%. Focus, anxiety outside the room. Okay, when mother says, when I'm here, she comes. And even when I'm outside in my bedroom, she comes. But she doesn't still like to hug, but allows mother to hug her. She won't hug and does not allow closeness. Mother says she is 50% better. And this was almost within a week. I've given you 11, 12, which is 3 weeks. And she has started better finish. By 18, 12, anger is L5. Only twice a week she shouted, goes into a room. And that also because some school message she missed and she missed 2 classes. She said there was a glitch in the Wi-Fi, but the mother said Wi-Fi now is good. Anyway, let it go. I said, let it. Social anxiety is still there. Saturday, Sunday, she got headache and she took a crocin because she didn't have our medicine. Fears, no normal fears, crowd, lizard, all that is gone. Suicidal talk is gone except for a little bit once or twice a week. She goes to school thrice a week, says it is good. Previously, when she came back, she was agitated and bothered. Now she's easy when she comes back. She's happy. She doesn't come with a face and sits and throws her bag and sits quietly. Now she's able to talk to her mates as the anxiety level is down. Now, has she changed? Have those people changed? Have those people stopped talking about their foreign holidays and their cards? No. It's her own confidence which has come back. And she's able to face them. And when you face them, when you face people like equal, then they treat you like equal. If you face them like this, then they beat you. She goes and sits with the mother, very good. By 4-2, she had acne, hemoglobin was there, hair fall is there, bunches. So we gave her an intercurrent for hair fall and all that hemoglobin and the iron. So we gave her tuberculin single dose and we gave her ferrum for 6x 4 times a day, 4 tablets for that, for her hemoglobin. Okay. And we repeated mandragora in that month. So we were giving her mandragora almost once a month. That's it. That's a follow-up. After that, mother said she's doing quite well. When clinic also follow-up, mother said she's doing very well. Yeah. So tell us, this is what we are trying to do through the NGH all the time. That all the time we are trying to give you cases which are through Ken's repertory or through Robin or through, I still remember Pranav when the first repertory came out of mentals, Agarwal. And when the other 3 books came out on just the mind and all. I mean, I was so happy. And then Robin came out with the repertory. Because in Kent, I would get only two remedies in any rubric. Here now it expanded. And those remedies, when we gave it to patient, they work. It's not that Robin Murphy just added by himself, decided, okay, let me add some remedies. No, he didn't work. He got clinical symptoms, which are also clinical symptoms that get improved. For example, I did one clinical of natrium has craving for salt, right? And magnesium that time was not proved that it had craving for salt. So I gave a patient magnesium and that craving for salt disappeared. That becomes clinical symptom, which is added to your materia medica. Okay, so that is the whole reason. We've had a very nice discussion. We have had people, sharing their views, and we have discussed them. We have answered to everything, and so it is. And we of course have our journals and everything where you go on. Journal is once a month, but we have our webinars and all that. You can always come on that, yeah, and you can also become.
Madam, Dr. Aryan Wahi sir is also there with us from Delhi.
What is there?
He's there. I can see the photo here. But can we have Aryan Wahi what he says?
Wahi, Dr. Wahi. Dr. Wahi want to share anything? He is not answering. Okay, so he may not be there. He may have just gone off, which is true. So what I'm trying to say is that we have to allow ourselves to grow, and we have to take newer remedies which can help us if we study them properly. Okay. So,
all right, madam. So we had a really good, nice, and interactive discussion, and which is open for each and every person. That's the best part of it, and it's frank and open discussion, which is really good. And in 1 hour, you have covered so deeply and deftly the medication. So thank you so much. It takes a lot of time to prepare. I know it. And thanks. There are many they are sharing. Thank you for sharing, and so many compliments you are getting from the chat. Thank you, madam, once again. See you next month. Bye.
Thank you. Hope you will also learn. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for participating. We really enjoyed your company, and please share your opinion. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Leena. Seeing you after a long time. Happy. Yeah, even when I learned this remedy, imagine I gave it to 4-5 people who would not have done better with any other remedy. I mean, how great it is, no, for us also to get results like this. I mean, we all of us have treated hundreds of cases, and sometimes we don't get any result. Okay, so sometime next time I'll share a case very physical. Okay, Pranav will be happy with rubrics. I'll try and see if I can do Kent repertory. I still have Kent repertory. I'm saying. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suraj. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Dr. Vishpala. This is Ashok here. Thank you.
Hi, Ashok. It was a nice case. No, Ashok?
Yeah, it's nice, especially if I see the side of positivity, just side of, it's not totally positive, that our doctor was discussing with you that he didn't find, and the Kent repertory, everything. You see, I myself being Kentian, as you said, we have to widen our vision to see what's going on today. We have to learn. We are still students, you know.
That is true. We never said everything is based on Kent only. They have only expanded it. Nobody has taken away Kent. Whatever
Certainly.
Kent, it is all there only. And we can throw away our masters. Where do we throw away? We are just adding, but we can be added, no, allowed to add. Right?
We must add. We must do. How much work you are doing, Dr. Vishpala, is fantastic, you know. It's really fantastic.
Other people are doing much more, but thank you so much. Yeah.
No, it's really great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam, there is Dr. Abdekam Chimtanwala. Hi, how are you doing? Good to see you in the chat list. Are you there? Yeah, are you listening to me? Abdekam Chimtanwala?
Yes.
Yeah,
hi,
so
Abdekam.
hi, long time. How are you?
How are you?
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fine. Fine.
Did you hear the case?
Yeah. Nice case. Nice case.
What did-
Your case is always nice.
No, that is not the point.
With-
What was
with a good
nice
ex-
specifically about?
Because of good explanation. That's important.
I must add my good wishes to Dr. speaking. This is Ashok here.
Yeah, Dr.
So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
And you finished in 1 hour so much, okay? You can't say I didn't answer your question, or I didn't explain anything, or I didn't do the remedy, or I just arbitrarily prescribed. No, I'm showing you repertory working, and a repertory which is been much made with great difficulty. You know how difficult? I could never always imagine how can we ever make a repertory. If we didn't have repertory, what would we do? You know, you can't learn all your materia medica and then go and prescribe, right? So thank
On the
you.
repertory ground, I want to put my idea. So once we started, ma'am, long back in mid 80s, we started to work on the repertory sheet. We used to write down with our hand. Over the period, time has changed. Now quickly we do on the software and the result comes so quickly. I remember to solve the one case repertory sheet, it takes hell of a time. So as we have to grow as the time goes, and then only we can grow all together.
So, you know, that reminds me of my study with Dr. Dhavle. Okay, when I began, just after college, I went to Dr. Dhavle, right? And I joined the ICR. And he told me that you have to work out 100 cases on the repertory sheet. Each case would take me 4 hours to fully work out, analyze, repertory, miasm, this, that, everything. 4 hours. Luckily, it was beginning practice. We didn't have much patience. So we could do all that, you know.
True.
Yeah. That,
Excellent.
so those 100 cases I still have, which I worked out. Then some of them he would scratch and say, very bad, go do it again. I would go and do it.
Even even Dr. Sharad Govind Samant, I work with in Malad, na?
Yeah.
He also worked with Dr. M.L. Davle in 70s.
I know,
After coming back.
I know. He was my teacher, so I know him very well. And I've learned a lot.
Then Samant told me in 94 that Davle told him that you do practice only that which I am teaching you. Then Samant did not agree with him. Samant said, I am from Calcutta Homeopathic College and I have something with me prior to that. So what is good, I will take.
No. That is because, you know, like you know how you are so stuck in wherever you are. So if you're stuck in whatever, when we are learning something, we have to be open. Then only we can accept. Okay, so that is what he meant. Okay, when he went, when Dowday went as principal to the college, I still remember I was not there. Okay, he left before I joined. So he said, you know today how our college is, right? Even today with such good teachers, we have so many percentage of people who practice allopathy. Dowday said, give me just 4 years and I will make everybody practice homeopathy only. Imagine somebody telling you this. I would have given him 3 colleges, you know, if I had more college to make him do it. And still in 2 years, he had to leave. So then ICR. And then look at the people that ICR is training. See their bases. Here we have so many, you have Lena, so many people here are from the ICR. And their basis is so much strong. You know, you have materia medica, repertory, clinical, everything. So you have joined. And then from there, you can grow to anybody. From ICR, people join so many different ways. There are so many schools. And we have to try and see whichever suits us and do that. No, because every school doesn't suit everybody, right? That's why there are so many schools. So just like there are so many paths to God, then there's so many paths to homeopathy. Don't stick to one. That suits you, you stick to it. But you can't insist other people also stick. Okay? Okay.
Dr. Gaikwad was also principal of Vilaypara Homeopathic College
Yes,
when
he
they
was
came
the
back.
principal. He was my best friend. I know that. He was my mother's best friend. He stayed in our house and I know him very well. In fact, he and my mother studied together when I was also in Calcutta from the Calcutta Homeopathic Medical College. I was also there as a 2-year-old girl because my mother went there to study and took me with her. And so Gaikwad has played with me. right from age 2 till whenever he was not. So yeah, I know that. And we have to, what I'm saying
But
is,
Madam, Davle was principal of CMP college before Gaikwad or after Gaikwad?
after.
Okay, so that means when AM Sheikh College started in 65, those initial 5 years Gaikwad taught people. Correct.
Yeah.
Because he told me even Kokila Ben Matani,
Yes, he was.
Kokila Ben Matani is a student.
From 1960, my mother was with the college. So was Gayatri. And Davle only, he left the year I joined. I joined in 73. He was there from 70 to 72. Okay, enough talk. Still,
Thank you, ma.
Still people are here, 21. So all interesting talk, right? Yeah. Which repertory must we use? No, use any repertory because I have only complete and Robin and so on. I use all that. So I use that. Sometimes I find something in Robin which is not there in the complete also. So use whichever repertory. Only even use Kent. We use Boger Boninga scene even now. But we know that there are more remedies and we go to the other thing and we explore. Okay. Okay then. Bye everyone. Bye. See you all after 1 month in the Engage CME and see you all in the next Saturday for our round table or webinar, whatever we have. Alternate weeks we have round table and webinar. Right? Please.
Good initiative, ma'am. Thank you. Good initiative, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
After lockdown, we are again joining with all the homeopaths. That's good. Thank you, ma'am.